I'm Dr. Brent Reynolds. I'm a neurofeedback practitioner and board certified in neurofeedback. And I'd like to talk to you today about attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, known as ADHD. Have you ever wondered why they give medications that are stimulant medications to children and young people with the symptoms of hyperactivity and lack of focus? One of the reasons for that is because we found through testing with QEEGs or EEGs that summarize brainwave activity that people who suffer from ADHD often produce slower than normal and smaller than average certain brainwaves, the faster type of brainwave. And what they do is they give medication that is a stimulant that increases the speed of those brainwaves, which produces a calming effect. Most of what our brain does throughout our life is to become activated to cause inhibition. So your brain has to be very active to suppress unwanted movement, unwanted speech, unwanted eye movements, fidgeting, lack of focus, all the things that go with ADHD and hyperactivity. So your brain has to do a good job of speeding up to slow down, if you will. So they give medication for this. It works because it speeds up those areas that are deficient, but it also speeds up other areas that are perfectly fine. So you have side effects that go along with these medications. Our approach with neurofeedback and the equipment we use is called brain core therapy, is that we want to speed up and train the areas that are the weakest and leave the other areas that are working just fine alone. So what we do is we find out where in the brain that they're producing slower than average and smaller than average brain waves, leading to symptoms. And we put sensors over that area. And then we're going to reward the patient by, whenever they produce a faster brainwave in that area, we're going to change something in their environment. The something that we change is usually a TV screen. With the light and darkness of the TV screen, we can set the machine. Let's say the brain waves that we want to produce are up at this level. So the brain waves will be produced like this, right? And when maybe they're being produced like this, and we want them to be at this height and this speed. So we set the equipment, set the machine at this height, and when they produce a faster brainwave and a larger brainwave in that particular area, they get rewarded by the screen lighting up. If we do this over and over, the brain figures out how to do this on its own, and it literally can rewire nerve cells in the brain in a healthy, gentle way, a natural way to focus and produce the calming effect that goes along with increased size and speed of certain brain waves in certain areas of the brain. And we call that, the term we use when you change your brain for the good in that direction, is called neuroplasticity. And that's for long-term benefits. We want to get to the root cause of the attention deficit hyperactivity. And we do that through training, through neurofeedback. So if you want more information on this, feel free to visit our website, newlifechiropractic.com, and have a great day.
Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about traumatic brain injury. When we look at a QEEG, specifically in patients who have suffered a traumatic brain injury, there are specific patterns that we see. When we talked about the different kinds of brain wavelengths that you've heard me talk about before, we have delta, theta, alpha, and beta. And delta is the sleepy brain wave, theta is the brain wave that's apparent when we're falling asleep, alpha is when we're doing routine activities, and beta is when we're focused and concentrating. People who suffer with traumatic brain injury very often have too many of the delta brain waves, which is the sleepier brainwave pattern. And when you're in a sleepier brainwave pattern, it becomes more difficult to do everyday tasks. It becomes more difficult to process information, sequential memory, short-term memory. Overall cognitive function becomes delayed or challenged. It can also present in motor function challenges, so not being able to move our bodies the way we used to be able to move them. So neurofeedback for patients who have traumatic brain injury is very specific, where we work on the areas of the brain that show these levels of dysregulation. So neurofeedback is we put two sensors on the scalp, we have the patient watch a movie, and when they're in the proper brainwave pattern, they're producing higher brainwaves. These higher brainwave patterns allow us to process information more clearly. It also helps with our memory, it can help with our motor functions, and so on. So if you know somebody who has a traumatic brain injury, there is help available. Feel free to give them our information so that we can help them. Thanks so much. Until next time, bye-bye.
Jimmy has been injured for 9 years now, and
Too long.
it is too long. He fell during work, fell off of a scaffold, and they gave him 92 hours to live, and he beat all the odds. He was in a coma for 3 months, and he just beat all the odds, and since brain core therapy, he has just been constantly improving. Every day there's a little something different.
Jim Bennett actually damaged both sides of his brain and was unable to stand. He basically was leaned forward in his wheelchair. His posture, he was having difficulty with his posture and movement of his right side. We started him on brain core. He improved very quickly with his cognition. His family came back and said he's saying words that he hasn't said in years. He was able to have a normal conversation at the dinner table, which was huge for him and his family. His tremors, he damaged part of his brain that actually stops movement. So his left side was, he was shaking in his chair, and it was able to have, the brain core actually helped stop some of those tremors.
My goal is to walk again.
That's a good goal.
That's a big goal.
Yes, his posture has improved a great deal. He was never able to really be in conversations. He'd be there, but he would drift off, and now he's able to hold a conversation and listen to what the other people are saying, so it's really, really nice change.
The brain core helps me with my posture, and it helps me communicate better.
Hey there! Today we're talking about ADHD, specifically in adults, and I want to talk about moms who are out there. You know, very often I have a child that a parent has brought in, and the mom says, geez, you know, I really recognize myself as a child with my own children. These are the things that I also noticed. You know, when I was growing up, I was known as Chatty Cathy, or I was known as the social butterfly, but really, you know, I did have some trouble focusing and some trouble, you know, with attention. But as we get older, sometimes it's hard to put our finger on it. You know, we might not say, oh, it's difficult for me to focus on, say, my shopping list, but you just might be in a constant state of overwhelm. It's just really hard to juggle all the things that we need to juggle in motherhood. And then also some of us have, you know, are working moms too, which adds another layer. So for those moms out there who notice that, you know what, I think my child is a little bit of a reflection of myself. You know, just so you know, Brain Core is not just for kids. Brain Core is for adults too. And the truth is the healthier we get, the better our brain works, the more optimal function that we have, we can help support our children even more. So please, Brain Core is not just for kids. You guys need help too. And so if you recognize these things in yourself, you know, what we can do is we'll do a QEEG, look to see if there is objective evidence there of this neurological dysregulation that's associated with having these kinds of challenges, and the neurofeedback can help you too. Okay? Thanks for tuning in today, and talk next time. Hey there! Today we're talking about ADHD, specifically in adults, and I want to talk about moms who are out there. You know, very often I have a child that a parent has brought in, and the mom says, geez, you know, I really recognize myself as a child with my own children. These are the things that I also noticed. You know, when I was growing up, I was known as Chatty Cathy, or I was known as the social butterfly, but really, you know, I did have some trouble focusing and some trouble, you know, with attention. But as we get older, sometimes it's hard to put our finger on it. You know, we might not say, oh, it's difficult for me to focus on, say, my shopping list, but you just might be in a constant state of overwhelm. It's just really hard to juggle all the things that we need to juggle in motherhood. And then also some of us have, you know, are working moms too, which adds another layer. So for those moms out there who notice that, you know what, I think my child is a little bit of a reflection of myself. You know, just so you know, Brain Core is not just for kids. Brain Core is for adults too. And the truth is the healthier we get, the better our brain works, the more optimal function that we have, we can help support our children even more. So please, Brain Core is not just for kids. You guys need help too. And so if you recognize these things in yourself, you know, what we can do is we'll do a QEEG, look to see if there is objective evidence there of this neurological dysregulation that's associated with having these kinds of challenges, and the neurofeedback can help you too. Okay? Thanks for tuning in today, and talk next time. Imagine if you could connect to who you were before the Big C diagnosis. Wouldn't it be amazing to tap into the way you used to feel? Your feminism, your vavoom, your life, the way it was. I've been there. I am you. Let's embark on this journey towards healing all parts of you, towards creating the life you deserve and were meant to live. Sign up now to get instant access to the beginning of your transformation. You will get better. You can get your happy back. Hey ladies, just wanted to let you know that the Healing Boobies meditations are now available for purchase. There are a variety of titles available, including some that are very specific with those of us who've been through the Big C, things like fear of reoccurrence and anxiety before a checkup, and then some generalized one like being able to get a good night's sleep and decreasing our anxiety and forgiving others. So I hope you enjoy them. Just a little background about meditation. Meditation's been around for thousands of years, and meditation is our way to defrag our computer, ladies. So really what we do is we're able to shut down and bring our brain into a certain brainwave pattern that allows us to heal. So it's super important. The meditations can be purchased with or without background music. And in the meditation, in the beginning, I bring you into a comfortable position to begin your meditation. If for some reason how I am guiding you in the position that I am putting you in is not comfortable, then please, the most important thing is to make yourself comfortable. So just get into a comfortable position, because if your body's in pain, it's going to be difficult to get into the meditation. That being said, if there's a day that you can't get comfortable no matter what, still meditate. It can help. I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm hoping you ladies really, really love the meditations. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Bye now. Hi everybody. Today we're talking about teenage anxiety. There are a lot of demands on teenagers nowadays. the academics, the athletics, the social pressures, and some kids are able to manage better than others, just like certain adults can manage better than others. And today I wanted to talk specifically about neurofeedback and how neurofeedback can help with anxiety. You know, I've talked to you before about how the brain is supposed to shift gears, right? Speed up to learn something new, slow down when we want it to go to sleep, and then stay in kind of an idle gear when we're doing things that are routine. When kids get stuck in this anxiety, what happens is that they get stuck in these higher gears. It's called beta waves, and this is why they may not sleep as well as they should, or why they just have that constant angst. And this is really, really important to address. I hear more and more cases of teenagers finding other ways to deal with their anxiety, whether it be drugs, alcohol, cutting. I mean, I've heard so many challenges, and this is a non-invasive way to really help your kids get the help that they need. This is a tool that we can use. Neurofeedback helps to train their brain to have a different pattern. So instead of being revved up, we're rewarding the brain every time it slows down. And what greater gift can you give your kids but the ability to self-regulate themselves, right? You know, if this prolongs, then they find other ways to make themselves feel better, and it's not always the best choices. And we know that the prefrontal cortex, which is the front of the brain, really develops while we're in our teenagehood, you know? And so without that development, they're not able to inhibit their brain the way it should. So in other words, they might make impulsive decisions. And this impulsivity can really create lots of challenges for the whole family dynamic. So my suggestion is, if you have a child that's struggling with anxiety, don't wait for these other things to pop up. Address it now, address it at the source, and get a QEEG so that we can see if that's what's going on with them. Thanks for listening. Talk soon. Bye.
people take medication every day for anxiety, depression, even insomnia. But a new technique could make it all go away by simply using your brain power. CBS 2's Andrea Grimes shows us how you can train your brain.
When it's light or bright, that's when she's producing the desired brain wavelength.
That's right. This patient is manipulating the brightness of the screen with the power of her mind. It's a treatment called brain core therapy.
Your brain is constantly being molded with a feedback mechanism, a positive reinforcement to show you that this is the proper brainwave pattern.
Positive reinforcement for this therapy entails making a video screen appear lighter, or here, keeping a roller coaster moving smoothly. It works, according to Dr. Carrie Chapino, by patients concentrating on these activities. She says research shows that over time, the brain will establish new connections that can help break the cycle of depression, insomnia, and certain pain.
I'm not about to get a facelift, but I can give my brain a lift.
Marilyn Sokol says she was having issues with mood, focus, and trouble sleeping, so she tried brain core therapy.
I'm really sleeping and not getting up for any reason.
She saw other benefits too.
I was always a slow reader. I do believe that there has been an improvement